They claimed they had uncovered a network of front companies designed to clean up the cartel's dirty money.
They identified Daniel Kinahan as having overall control of the day-to-day runnings of the cartel, over 110 million worth of properties in Spain.
On the surface, it's what you'd expect from a luxury villa on the Costa del Sol. You've got the palm trees, the rolling golf greens, the sweeping sea views. But hidden behind those cypress trees is something else entirely. A fortress, built not for comfort, but for conflict. For 10 years, this very house provided a sanctuary for Europe's most powerful crime family, the Kinahan Cartel. We'll show you exactly how this property became a hub for moving tons of cocaine through Spain. And we'll be asking whether the Kinahans are ever likely to face justice back in Ireland. Before we go any further, if you're finding this story compelling, please do take a moment to like and subscribe. We'd love to know what you think, so please leave us a comment. It genuinely helps us keep making these in-depth true crime stories for you. Thanks for that. Now, let's get back to it. The villa is on Calle Galicia in Guadalmina Baja, a quiet, green neighbourhood tucked between Marbella and Estepona. When you get close, the first thing you see is a plain sandstone wall. Nothing fancy, but look up and you'll notice two dome-shaped cameras on top of wooden posts. They slowly move, tracking every car that drives past. More cameras sit along the roof, watching every corner with no blind spots. At night, the lenses switch to night vision using infrared lights, and if anyone hangs around too long, motion sensors trigger powerful floodlights that blast the area in white light, making it clear you're not welcome. Spanish investigators found architectural plans during Operation Shovel, showing the owners went all out on security. They added reinforced shutters and a steel core panic door to the master bedroom. Even local real estate agents admit that setup is extreme, way more than what footballers or billionaires usually ask for. Upgrades like that aren't for show, they're for people who expect serious trouble. Guadalmina Baja is all about staying low-key. It's not a gated community, but security vans regularly patrol the streets, and private guards check license plates. Big names live there. Former Prime Minister Jose Aznar has a holiday home nearby, along with ex-football managers and wealthy banking families. One local insider said the street runs on mutual silence. People know who their neighbours are, but no one asks questions or says anything unless the police show up with a warrant. In the early 2000s, the most senior member of the Kinahan Cartel, Christy Kinahan, also known as the Dapper Don, relocated his family's base from Dublin to the Costa del Sol. He set up gyms, property companies, and boxing clubs as cover, while allegedly moving large shipments of drugs through the busy ports of Algeciras and Valencia. Files from the US Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control list the villa in Guadalmina as Daniel Kinahan's main Spanish address. They also name 5 more properties, 2 villas in San Pedro de Alcántara and an apartment overlooking Los Flamingos Golf in Benahavis. Spanish police say the family spent more than 35 million euros on property across Andalusia between 2001 and 2009. Their luck started to crack in 2010. A joint operation between Irish and Spanish authorities, called Operation Shovel, hit hard. 40 locations were raided. Christy Sr., Daniel and Christy Jr. were all arrested, and around 500 million euros in assets were frozen. But things fell apart. Paperwork errors, rumors of corruption, and endless court delays weakened the case. By 2014, most of the seizures were overturned. Daniel Kinahan's lawyers pushed for everything to be returned. Cash, cars, even the jewelry. Spanish intelligence later called it a missed century moment. It was the best chance to shut the cartel down for good. Instead, they came back stronger and smarter. Real estate expert Sean Woolley, director of Cloud9 Spain, describes Guadalmina Baja as the quiet cousin of Marbella's Golden Mile. Older money, lower profile. Properties here don't show up on public listings. Sales happen quietly, often passed through lawyers or word of mouth. The area's golf course hosts televised events, but the residential streets are calm and private. Outsiders are easy to spot. For a cartel that doesn't want attention, that kind of quiet watchfulness is worth its weight in gold. The villa is also in a prime location, less than 10 minutes from Puerto Banús, where cartel money men used to rub shoulders with yacht brokers, and about 40 minutes from Malaga Airport. From there, it's just a short private jet flight to Dubai or Gibraltar, and with a coastline full of hidden coves, perfect for speedboats bringing in shipments, Guadalmina was the perfect blend of low-key luxury and high-level access. Locals admit the area is paradise with potholes. In 2018, a Spanish man was shot dead outside a church in San Pedro, just steps from the town center, over an unpaid drug debt. In 2023, 3 masked gunmen opened fire along the same shopping strip, wounding 2 men in what police called a gangland score settling. A year later, an Albanian trafficker took 2 bullets to the chest while eating on a restaurant terrace in Guadalmina Baja and lived. Residents say it's not unusual to see National Police commandos storm local cafes in full gear, dragging suspects away mid-meal. Sit in any beach bar, one local said, and you might end up next to tourists or a drug boss. Still, property prices keep rising. Estate agents claim the violence is surgical, criminals targeting each other, not bystanders. That quiet understanding, crime staying in its lane, keeps tourists coming and villa prices high. Operation Shovel was supposed to be the big one, the takedown of the Kinahan empire, but it fell apart. Leaked court files showed just how badly it was handled. Wiretap recordings went missing, evidence got mislabeled, and witnesses were undermined by claims that some civil guards had taken bribes and leaked details of the case to the gang. In the end, Spain's anti-corruption prosecutors backed off. Almost all of the money laundering charges were dropped. The only thing left was a passport fraud case against Christy Kinahan Sr., and that's still dragging through the courts in Malaga to this day. The Kinahans didn't wait around. While Spanish officials dealt with the fallout, Daniel Kinahan slipped out of the country and set up shop in Dubai. He knew the UAE had no extradition deals with Ireland or the US, which made it the perfect safe zone. From there, Daniel rebranded himself. He entered the world of boxing, not as a fighter, but as a so-called advisor. He built influence by getting close to top fighters and sponsors, using the sport as a shield and a platform. Back in Marbella, the once heavily guarded villa went silent, but it didn't disappear. Ownership stayed hidden behind a maze of offshore companies tied to Gibraltar and Liechtenstein. Even today, no one's sure if the property ever changed hands after 2014. The calm broke in April 2022. That's when the US Treasury hit the Kinahan family with global Magnitsky sanctions, officially labeling them a transnational criminal organization. They even put up a $5 million reward for any information that could lead to the arrest of Christy Snar, Daniel, or Christy Jr. 5 months later, Spanish police made their move. The Guardia Civil arrested Johnny Morrissey, a British-Irish businessman known for promoting luxury whiskey and being a long-time ally of the Kinahans. He was accused of laundering €200 million in just 18 months, using hawala cash drops and shady car dealerships to move the money. When police raided his villa near Malaga, they found encrypted phones, money-counting machines, and vacuum-packed bundles of cash. It looked like a solid case, but once again, the case hit a wall. Despite all the evidence, gaps in the investigation led to Morrissey being released on €60,000 bail. The Sunday World summed it up best: another high-profile Kinahan case slipping through the cracks of Spain's justice system.
And I know people may have a different view about recreational drugs, but I started the premise that drugs are bad for you. And I've never seen anyone whose life has been improved by taking drugs.
Irish officials say the pressure is finally starting to pay off. Justice Minister Jim O'Callaghan says a new extradition treaty with the UAE is ready to go, just waiting for final approval. Behind the scenes, Garda are reportedly sitting on full indictments, just waiting for the paperwork to be signed. But not everyone's convinced. Critics warn that if Dubai becomes too risky, the Kinahans might switch direction, using their ties to Russian intermediaries to slip east. Russia has no extradition deals with either Ireland or the US, making it a potential safe haven if things go south. Still, something changed in May 2025. Sean McGovern, a trusted cartel lieutenant wanted for murder, was flown from Dubai to Dublin in a one-off legal arrangement. It was the first real breakthrough. Observers called it a test run, and if it holds, Irish authorities might finally have a shot at going after the top tier, Christy Kinahan and his 2 sons. Who owns the villa now? Spanish property records show the Guadalmina villa is officially owned by a Gibraltar-based company that shut down in 2019. Soon after, the title moved to another shell company, this one fronted by a nominee in Panama. Locals say the house has been quietly offered for sale, with whispers of a €5 to €6 million price tag. But there's no public listing, no photos online, and nothing on the official property sites. One British buyer reportedly backed out after finding out the address had been flagged by the US Treasury's OFAC list. That warning means any buyer connected to the US could face sanctions if it's proven the Kinahans still benefit from the deal. The villa itself looks like someone rushed to patch it up. The north wall's paint is peeling. The security cameras still work, but they're stuck on factory settings, hinting that whoever used to monitor the system isn't checking in anymore. Gardeners come once a week, paid in cash. They don't talk to the press. Now the house just sits there, quiet, guarded, waiting, either for its next wealthy owner or for investigators to finally force the shutters open. Just a 2-minute walk from the villa's front gate takes you to Tricky Ricky's, an old-school English cafe known for its full fry-ups. Online reviewers love it, and it turns out Christy Kinahan Sr. did too. Investigative outlet Bellingcat found a Google review he once left, calling the staff friendly but businesslike. Locals aren't surprised. Staff there are known for keeping things discreet. One regular put it plainly, they don't ask questions and they don't remember who left the tip. A few doors down is Asador, a classic steakhouse popular with footballers and wealthy families. Daniel Kinahan also left a glowing review there, giving it 5 stars without hesitation. People in Guadalmina have learned to live with the mix. One resident told a reporter, "You never know if the guy at the next table is a tourist or a trafficker. As long as the bullets don't hit the promenade, no one interferes." It's that quiet tolerance that keeps real estate ads calling the area a hidden gem, even when crime scene tents occasionally show up after a drive-by. Spain still has scores to settle. Christy Kinahan Sr.'s passport fraud charge hasn't gone away. Prosecutors say he faked documents in 2010 to help a Syrian contact gain citizenship. If Dubai delays his extradition, Spain may push ahead without him, trying him in absentia. That kind of move could cause tension with the UAE, who don't like their image in the spotlight. Back in Ireland, the Criminal Assets Bureau hasn't let up. Their civil cases aim to seize Kinahan-owned assets, stretching from Dublin to Marbella. In 2022, they froze multiple Spanish properties and bank accounts holding millions. Whether Spain can succeed where Operation Shovel failed depends on a new kind of alliance between Europol financial experts, US Treasury analysts, and Colombian anti-narcotics teams tracking the cartel's routes across the Atlantic. If Madrid builds a joint prosecution team, then the Costa del Sol, once a safe zone, could become the final battleground for dismantling the Kinahan empire. And so we end our journey through a villa soaked in secrets. From the outside, the Guadalmina house looks calm. Flowers spill from the balconies. You can hear the sea beyond the trees. But these walls once protected a €1 billion operation, a place that survived raids, court collapses, and international sanctions. Now, the tides are shifting. With $1 million rewards posted in the US, new treaties signed in Dublin, and pressure growing in Europe, the Kinahan stronghold feels less secure by the day. Maybe one morning soon, a convoy of unmarked SUVs will roll back down this quiet lane, blue lights off, battering ram ready, and the Costa del Sol chapter of Ireland's most powerful mafia will come to a close. If this deep dive opened your eyes, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another true crime story.